And now the Kelly Fowler investigation into a college professor accused of recruiting for ISIS. Julio Pino is an associate professor of history at Kent State, a public university, where he has been teaching for decades despite some wildly controversial statements. Yesterday, 20 of Pino's students and a few of his colleagues were interviewed as part of an FBI probe. Pino is no stranger to controversy, posting pictures like this of child jihadists on his public Facebook page. And while he denies supporting ISIS and says that he never incited any of his students to violence, a review of his Facebook page turns up a posting in which he praises Osama bin Laden as the, quote, greatest. Ryan Morrow is a professor and national security analyst with the Clarion Project who's been doing some digging on Professor Pino. Good to see you, Ryan.
Thanks for having me.
What is, first of all, so the FBI is confirming its investigation into this man?
Right.
On the record?
Well, there's been anonymous statements by FBI agents, and then I'm not sure if there was a public statement, but what he is saying is that, look, I haven't been arrested yet, and I haven't been informed that I am the subject of an investigation.
They think he's recruiting for ISIS?
Right, recruiting students for ISIS, actually using his position as a professor in order to find recruits. And when I was looking at his Facebook page, I found many indications of extremism, including posting pictures that are supportive of ISIS and saying that Al-Qaeda, which was once led by the great Osama bin Laden, in his words, and kicked off this current jihad, supporters of him should now join ISIS because they're now the ones that are the best jihadists.
He talks about the oath that the, quote, 19 martyrs made was a glorious oath among the most noble oaths, among others. But I mean, it goes on and on and on. He's been doing this for years. How has he survived at Kent State this long?
Well, here's what's really shocking, is that his first statement that he was noticed for, which supported terrorism, where he was praising suicide bombings, happened in 2002. And so there's been controversy surrounding this individual all the way back then, but the university has not fired him. And so what I really want to know is, why aren't you firing him? And if there's a reason that you cannot do so legally, explain that. Because right now, all we're hearing from the university leadership is that, well, we condemn these statements, and the FBI assures us that there's no threat to the campus.
The university says free speech. This is free speech, and these are his viewpoints. Recruiting for ISIS is a different story, but he's denying that. They say it's free speech. One has to wonder if he were getting up there saying the N-word every 3 words in his sentences, whether they'd be telling us this is free speech and we can't do anything about it.
And that was my thought exactly, especially because this has been going on so consistently over the years, where he was reportedly writing for a pro-Al-Qaeda website that was distributing training manuals for jihadists. And when the university and the authorities say, well, there's no active threat here, we have to ask ourselves, well, what else are they supposed to say? There's a guy that we consider to be a threat, but we don't have the evidence to arrest him for, so sorry. That's what they have to say. Anywhere where there's an ISIS supporter is a threatening situation. I would not go on that campus if I was a student.
He is currently teaching. He's teaching 2 classes right now. History is one of them, history of Cuba and Central America, and a seminar in history. So right now, he's teaching students. He says he plans to continue teaching these classes this semester, and he'll be back in the fall semester. So isn't it up now to the faculty and the parents of the student body to come out and say, no, he won't be. No, he won't.
It is, and it's up to the university leadership to explain how inciting terrorism isn't a violation of the faculty code of conduct. And if they want to fire him, why they're unable to do so. We need a greater explanation here besides just saying, oh, well, it's free speech and there's no threat. Again, anywhere there is an ISIS supporter who believes that any American is a legitimate target for jihad, that is a situation that is unsafe.
This is unbelievable. We'll stay on it. Ryan, thank you.
Thank you.